Welcome back, everybody,
Yes.
to
All in.
another episode. Straighten this out a little bit. Do you know why I'm wearing this? I'm Handren Seavey.
I'm Kim McVicar, and I have no idea why you're wearing that
This
hat.
is the fisherman's hat because we got
Oh,
fishermen again.
because we fishing, everybody. We fishing. And this is my fisherman hair. It's pink. Why did I do that?
It's a little mermaidy, at least.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I might keep it. I might not. I'm on the fence.
You know what I don't get about all those colors is they're not. I've seen a lot of women do like the subtle color, and to me, it looks like it was colored and now it's faded out.
This is actually as bold as it'll get, and it will slowly fade from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you like completely strip it and then they'll like dye it.
I just don't want to go crazy pink. I just don't know. I just was bored with being blonde, and I have to figure out a hair color. Either that or I'm going to shave my head like you, and
do it.
It's just figuring out what hair color do I want, because I just realized like one day I was looking around and everybody was like, everybody's blonde, and I was like, oh, why don't I be like everybody else? That's the only reason I dyed my hair. All right, but
no, that is a great way to start, because this was a two-sided episode. Mm-hmm. It was guys and girls having kind of separate storylines, and the girls part, wow, did that get depressing at the end? When it was all these white bitches complain about how hard life is, and you're just like, you're fine.
Oh my gosh. So my niece is in town, and we went to Universal yesterday, and we were walking around all day. And at the end, we were like, oh, my feet hurt. We're getting in line for donuts. And the guy behind us had no legs. It's like perfect timing. Let's put things in perspective, white people. It's not.
But I mean, to be fair, his feet don't hurt.
I agree. That's what I said. I was like, his feet don't hurt anymore. He probably did.
Unless he has those phantom pains.
Oh, what a nightmare that would be. Yeah, but this was an interesting episode because they really stereotyped the girls to like not get along in the beginning and do all of the things that women do. And then they also stereotyped the guys. I'd say they went a little bit reverse on the guys because they gave them some feelings.
And they kind of showed at least like two different types of guys, like Dawson and his dad's relationship versus Pacey and his dad's relationship, and then also just throw Jack in there.
But I don't know why Dawson's dad was even there. He was like not in that scene 99%.
But he did have a great part.
I was like, this is why he quit, because he was like, oh, you guys put me in this for no reason. Cool, bye.
Hang on, my one headphone is being wonky.
It's screaming into it. But we do get to meet Pacey's dad for the first time.
Yes. And what the fuck is going on? Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking. We get to meet him, but also they like just showed the part with Dawson's dad. If this works now. You there?
I am. And I can hear you.
Okay. Cool. That's a lot better. It was just getting crackly for some reason. And sometimes I have to put them in and open it back up.
It was me.
Dawson's dad, he was like, look, man, I was kind of hoping you'd get a job and be a dad. And he's like, I can't promise you anything other than I'm going to keep being me, Dawson.
Yeah, said every actor parent ever. Yeah. Every kid whose parents are actors. I'm going to keep chasing the dream.
But it is kind of true. Like, what does Mitch do? I mean, eventually I think he opens a restaurant, but
not on his dime, on his wife's dime. He's living the dream. He is living the dream.
Yeah, but now he's like, I don't know. You think he's getting alimony? He's got to be.
Yeah, 100%. He can't afford any of that. I think that they're not fully divorced, or I don't know. Yeah. She's paying for everything.
Yeah, she's paying for everything, possibly even his like motel room where he's staying right now.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's amazing. Yeah, and then Jen sets up some weird thing for all of the girls to do with Dawson's mom, which is weird because she goes up to the girls like it's Dawson's mom who wants it and presents it that way, like Dawson's mom asked me to do this. And then you see that quick moment where Dawson's mom's like, thanks for thinking of this, Jen. And everyone's like, what? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
And also a weird I don't know. I could see her either doing it with Abby or with Joey and Andy, but why all of them? It was just like, one, it's like, so there's no other girls in this school.
Also, no one starts a TV show with, so what's the hardest part about being a woman? Like,
Not
tell me,
yet
what
because of the patriarchy, but we're gonna, okay?
what's the deepest thing about your life? Like, no, you ease people into this. You don't start with that.
Yeah.
What kind of host are you, Gail? What kind of host are you?
And then the whole thing of her, so at the end, she tells Joey, "You're my daughter."
Oh yeah,
You're
that's
my
sweet.
it was sweet, but also I feel like Joey would, I don't know, she'd either take it nice or be like, "I had a mom and she died and you cheated on your husband. Thanks, I'm good."
I wish she did that, but she did it. But that would have been a more fun scene.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it would have.
But they won't do that in this show.
No. I mean, maybe you and I one day. I think you and I should recreate after we're done all of these. Recreate some episodes with how we wish the scenes went. I can animate, so I wouldn't be. It would be us animated.
I can feel that. One of which was okay. So let's get into Pacey and his dad, which I don't know if we ever caught a name.
Dad.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Sergeant something. They definitely say. Yeah, they never say his first name. You're right. Not that I remember, but yeah. So his dad pulls up to them while they're biking, and it's like, "Dawson, are you going to leave us? Pacey will be working at a thing." And Pacey's like, "Did you see how mean he is to me?" And Dawson's like, "He's just kidding." Are you going to be that kind of dad?
Absolutely.
Of course.
No, it is. It's just, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like a little unbelievable because he never lets a single thing go by without using it as an opportunity to put him down.
The dad,
and you're like,
right?
I don't know. Yeah, the dad. Like, I don't know
but it
if that would
shows the why
happen.
Pacey does that too with his friends sometimes, and so it
In
kind
like
of shows where
snarky
he gets
ways.
that. But it shows
Yeah.
where he gets it from, which is cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
definitely. But okay, I think the missed opportunity here is I think Pacey would snap. I thought he was going to snap eventually. I thought he was going to either take the trophy for winning the fishing tournament and throw it in the ocean. With that line was hilarious. Savor this. We probably won't get many of these.
Yeah, that was very fun. And then the breakdown was also very. So let's go like kind of chronologically, right? Let's do all boys and then girls or whatever we want to do. But like, so the boys go
I just
on.
gotta grab water.
The boys go on a fishing trip, and they forget to tell Dawson that Jack's coming. So Dawson is like, "What the fuck, man? Why didn't you tell me?" And he is like, "Oh, I totally forgot." And then so you have two dads, and then two kids, and then you have a random kid, and all of them have liked Joey at one point in time, even though Pacey's not into her right now. And they're just like, "Hey, man, we don't have to like each other, but we do have to be on this boat together because I can't get off yet." I mean, there's a missed opportunity for like, yeah, you can, and he just pushes them off, but it didn't happen.
Or I mean, like for Jack, just to be like, hey, trust me, on a boat with a bunch of dudes, you're gonna love this.
That also would have been great. And then you have the fish line getting screwed up, right?
Yeah,
and
the first one.
And the dad gets so mad at Pacey, but it was clearly Jack in the seat. It's Jack's fault.
Yeah, it wasn't even Pacey's pole. He just tried to like jump on it for a sec so that Jack wouldn't lose it. Also, I do want to say, like, I guess, maybe he's had it for a while, but like, whose boat is this that sleeps 5 and is an ocean rig? Like,
I'm going to guess, I think it's the sheriff's, or they rented it.
It's got to be a rental. That's the only thing. I mean, he doesn't own that boat on a sheriff's salary.
No, yeah, they probably rented it for the whatever competition. And then they decide to court and go drinking with all the guys.
Yeah, you fish for a little while and then you got it, because apparently it was a weekend thing. They're staying out on the boat for the Saturday to Sunday.
So then is it time lapse the same way for the women where she was interviewing them for a week? Weekend, not a week.
Weekend. Yeah, kind of, because eventually theirs does go through the
the night
night
as well.
because they have that thing in the morning where Abby had just been sitting there waiting.
So sad.
Yeah, all night. And I bet so does that mean they all spent the night at Dawson's?
Yep, watching porn
Yeah, that was
with
weird.
the mom. That's the funniest scene I've seen in a very long time. Yeah, the girls. Well, I guess. Well, do you want to go to the women in that scene now, or?
The lesbian porn they were watching?
I thought, yeah. So the girls get together. Gail's trying to interview them about like what being girls are like. Jen's like, no, you need to like relax us first. Well, what's a better way to relax? They all go to Dawson's room, and Dawson has some VHS porn, which I feel like that's a realistic scene, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that
they
was
play,
perfect for the 90s.
and then they play it, and then they're like all like, scandalous. This is what he jerks off to.
She has a line, which is also a joke of mine I have about my dad's porn that I didn't
Oh,
realize
so
was
you
in
stole
this.
it from Dawson's Creek. Great.
Apparently I stole it. It's been stuck in there for fucking 25 years or whatever. About how when they start to play it, they're like, this is when he finished.
Yeah. That's really funny. And then, oh, I don't know. I just thought it really interesting for all of them. They were just about to get super mean to each other when the mom comes in. Like where that one girl was like, "Oh, you probably never seen a dick like this, but Jen sure has." Like they were like going through all of the like different tropes that they all characterize themselves as. And I
Yeah.
like to think that they all watch the rest of that later.
Oh, you think so? They all snuck back up out of their sleeping bags.
Or like one of them
I
took
thought
it.
when her and Joey kind of make up there at the end, I thought Jen was gonna kiss her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like kind of leading up in a weird way. It was like,
Get over
it's like
here.
let's get real. It's like, look, it's all just been sexual tension the entire time. That's why I've been mean to you.
Can you imagine if none of it's just everyone becomes lesbian or gay?
That would have been a good show.
I would love it. Yeah. And so I don't know. I felt like this was one of those filler episodes.
Definite filler episode. I think, but it's also setting up like the dynamics with Pacey and his dad. Because this definitely
Yes.
plays out further as we go on, and he fights with his dad about what he's gonna be or what he's gonna do, whether he's gonna go to college and shit.
And then they play that little dart game and he like loses for his dad.
Yeah, which again, they've done this many times, but they're so just like blatant about it, where they have him playing darts in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. He's never played darts before, and he's like, and you didn't even know Dawson had a dartboard in his room.
He didn't. That's new. Yeah, they like always show you in that opening what's about to happen.
But yeah, it was filler. Dawson and his dad, I don't know. It's interesting. Mitch plays such a noble guy, but when you really look at him on paper, like I don't even know that he's a great dad.
But but I still don't know why Dawson's so mad at his dad all the time and not at his mom. Like he knows who's the cheater. Why is he mad at his dad for leaving a woman who cheated on him? And then the second Joey kisses somebody, he's like, "That's it, I'm out." Right? Like, shouldn't you value your dad?
He is clearly projecting, like, or not projecting, but like, he can't see that he's doing acting exactly like his dad. Because he's too like inside of it. They act exactly the same, but then they look at each other and criticize each other.
Look at you. You're a head writer right there. Deep thinker.
But his dad, like, is barely around when you look at him on, his involvement in the show. Sure, it's the writing. But if you really want to look at it as if you're in the character, how good of a father is this guy? Doesn't spend a lot of time with his son, doesn't have a job. So what is he doing? He has all this free time. What is he doing?
Making porn.
I wish, if only he was cheating. If only he had been fucking around, but he wasn't even the one fucking around.
He's just playing video games.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like fucking Mitch, get it together.
Did you ever watch porns with you and your friends?
A couple times.
What
It's
accent was
awkward.
that?
I was
A
swallowing
couple
at the same time.
times.
A couple times.
Good to know you can do that.
I remember a friend's house. He was like, I found this porn at my dad's and put it in, and we watched it for like 15 minutes, and it's just completely quiet with like 6 people in the room. And they're like, all right, this is weird. Let's get out.
It's interesting that you assumed that the one that the girls were watching was just women, that there was no dude in it.
Just because of the sounds that were being made.
Really?
Yeah,
I just
it was
assumed
like
there was like a dude in there.
no, it sounded like to like a lesbian scene with 2 chicks.
Because I feel like when girls watch it at that age, because they're watching it knowing somebody else is watching it, they're not like getting turned on. They're more or less like, I'm supposed to do that, or they're like, oh, that's what he's into. Like that's, I think, more of a realistic thought process. I don't know how many women watch it together in general. I don't think kids do that now. They don't have to, because they don't have to like find them.
You have it in your pocket.
You could do it on your own, but then you could not.
I mean, you could, but it was for some reason.
It'd be way weirder if you watched it together now, though. If you're like all gathered around someone's iPhone and
yeah,
like, let's watch this now, and then it'd be way weirder.
I think part of showing other people back then was it was considered rare to come upon.
Yeah, look what I found.
Look what I found. Have you ever seen something like this before?
There wasn't an OnlyFans account where you could find your own special thing.
Where you could find your teacher.
Your niche. Yeah, you just go to their Instagram and then they'll tell you where it is. Okay, out of all of the characters, who do you think would have an OnlyFans now?
Oh. Obvious
Dawson's dad. Dawson's dad. That's how he's paying this stuff.
No, I was going to say, obviously, people would think Jen. And maybe she does. Maybe she has like a Suicide Girls type one.
Abby,
I don't think Abby does. I think Abby or Joey have one that is like a dominatrix and you don't see their face.
Okay.
It's like a humiliation type thing.
Yeah, let's say they all have it. What kind of OnlyFans would they have?
I don't know. I think Abby is more of just like, she's a straight whore. Like she would just actually fuck people for money. Where like, Joey or Andy would like use the anonymity of the internet to like solicit money from people, but they would do something like always wear a mask or humiliation stuff. Jen would just
like to think that Joey would always cry. I never met my dad. No, her dad's in prison. She's met him, but
she does pity porn.
Yeah, that's so sad.
No, Joey probably sells her underwear.
Oh, underwear.
Yeah.
Love it. And then Gail, she's got.
Oh, Gail is like a fucking. She does straight up MILF scenes.
That's why they get divorced, is because that's how he finds out she affords all the things that he gets. And then he breaks up with her, but he keeps taking her money.
Oh, yeah. No, he is, nothing is below Mitch. Mitch will sink to any level.
And then, okay, Pacey has one. You think he's a dominatrix?
No, Pacey is the opposite. Pacey would be like Abby, but for like, he'd be a sugar baby.
And then Dawson's would be like a full movie, like a beginning, middle, like a full, like, here's the pizza delivery, like a scene. We'd be watching. Like,
it would be like that for women. He would make porn for women.
Full storyline. And then Jack. Yep. We get it. And then how do you think the sheriffs would be? We just met this character, right? So is he doing it like drunk or sober?
He is paying Andy or Joey to like step on his balls.
I like it. Yeah. These are all great ideas.
Interesting thing, because they're not in school in this episode, but I wonder as we go on, because we've had a few teachers come in, including Miss Jacobs, which I don't think she ever comes back.
No, she's done.
But there are some teachers that I wonder if they, used up the amount of time they could be on the show, if we'll ever see them again.
What about this episode made you think that?
Well, because there's no teachers in it. They're not in
Oh,
school
okay.
at all in it. And then moving forward, it's not until college that I remember them having a significant teacher role. I know
There's
his
a
dad
teacher that's
becomes a
been
guidance counselor.
there's a teacher that's been mean in several episodes already, and he becomes super mean. He's the reason Jack has to say he's gay in front of everybody.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I
That
love that
teacher
guy.
stays. That guy stays. If you watch, he's already in it now. He's already a mean teacher now.
Yeah, he
Just
was.
subtle
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
And then his aggression gets bigger.
I mean, he could have the same defense as Pacey's dad in this one. Like, I'm being mean to you to protect you, to get you ready for how mean the world is going to be to you.
I think that's what he says.
And yeah, and this guy is like, you are a homo and you are going to get shit on out in the world.
Just say
So
that.
I am going to shit on you harder than they can shit on you out there. So that way you'll be ready for that. It's my duty. It hurts me to do it, but it is my duty.
And for anybody listening, please don't do that. It's not nice. You could
No, yeah, just let him go out and fail.
That's their fault. No. No. Let people live their own lives, Handren. Come on.
It's jokes, people.
Yep. I know. I'm just nicer.
But I don't know. Not that there is something to it. And obviously the way Pacey's dad is going about it is wrong. But I do think there is like a certain way. Like, did you watch that Patrice O'Neill documentary?
Maybe was about obviously Patrice O'Neill.
There was just a good part in it where he had a stepdaughter, but he pretty much raised her. And after about an hour and a half of people talking about Patrice and what an amazing comic was and what an asshole he was to be around.
I don't think I saw it. I just looked it up.
His stepdaughter talks, and because she spoke at his funeral, she did a eulogy, and she was like, I have to just say this just so everybody knows, because of what the opinion of he is out there, is that I would not be the woman I am today if it wasn't for him. He gave me a hard time a lot, but it made me strong, and it got me ready to be a woman out in the world. And he would always tell me, like, in a loving way, like, shit's hard out there. You got to get ready for this shit. Like, people are going to say these things about you. You got to have retorts and be able to come back and stuff. And so there is a way of, like, I get the mindset of Pacey's dad of, like, you're just so scared of your kid going out in the world that you want to have them ready for the hardest things that are going to come at them, but don't be the hardest thing that's going to come at them. Don't.
I agree. And I think that he's going too far. Like,
yeah, a bit.
He's also like comparatively being nice to one child and not the other. So we hear.
Right. Well, the other
like,
one also works with him too. The other one is a cop as well.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like, what if Pacey becomes a cop? He's just not old enough to be.
Oh no, he'll never hire him.
Oh, that'd be so messed up. Oh, that's a scene. Pacey decides to do the whole academy. He gets through everything. And then his dad's like, oh, you're not what we're looking for.
No, I'm not hiring you. You look.
Yeah, that would be the meanest thing. Oh, that'd be also wonderful.
Pacey just murders his father.
Catch me now, Dad. Catch me now. Yeah, Pacey's adorable in this. This makes Pacey a much more likable. Especially at the end.
The times when I thought he was going to snap were that time with the darts, and then when he got the trophy. I thought he was going to chuck the trophy into the water, or I thought he was going to, like, just wind the dart in the other direction and flip out or something. He was really, he does do it, which I don't know if that's true for the character. I feel like because Pacey kind of flips out on Dawson.
Well, he always takes it out on Dawson, but it is a weird, like, actor life moment where he's like, I think he went too far in the crying scene. Like, it starts with, like, he's just like, Dad, you're supposed to be there for me. And, like, all of that stuff is kind of fine.
Oh, and when he's talking to the drunk, passed out dad.
And he just starts crying. And I so wished his dad remembered it in the next morning and was like, what the fuck did you cry over me for, you little pussy?
Yeah.
That would have been
If he
better.
just grabbed him, he was like, I heard what you fucking said. You get one of those. And just walks away.
Yeah, just as some acknowledgement that he heard that, I would love. Yeah, he just cried too much in that scene for me. I was like, no.
Yeah, and I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a relationship like that with my dad, but I feel like if you're
I didn't
that
have one.
hardened over, yeah, and you also didn't have a relationship like that with your dad.
I didn't even have one. Ooh, I mean, I had one, right?
But I feel like, I mean, wouldn't, okay, let's say, take you for example, if you had some moment with your father where you met up and you got to ask all those questions, wouldn't you actually feel like you're like, I'm not going to share my emotions with you. Like, you don't deserve
so
them.
I met my dad, and when I did, that's exactly how I behaved. I was like, fuck, I've just made, no. And somebody tried to tell me what he was saying because he was like dying. And they were like, he wants you to know never to smoke cigarettes. And I was like, well, fuck you, I'm going to start smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
and literally
you don't
the
get to
next
dole
day,
out advice now.
I 100% started smoking cigarettes the next day. So
Good for you.
thanks, Dad. So I did have a real relationship with my dad. You know, that whole whatever your parents say, you do the opposite. I still did it.
Nice.
In my life or not.
You did it in like a matter of hours.
Oh yeah, I was like, and also that's what killed him. So it was like a weird full circle moment. Lung cancer.
But yeah, that scene too does make me think, like, I don't know that would have happened. I don't know he would have done that in front of his dad. He might have had a breakdown like that on his own somewhere else afterwards, in front of Dawson, in front of Andy.
Well, and don't you think the guys on the boat would have been like, oh, his dad's passed out, let's go grab him?
Yeah, nobody gave a shit. Mitch just leaves the two kids with the drunk sheriff.
Well, because he's Mitch. He's like, oh, look, there's a creative outlet. I should go.
Mitch is like, I gotta go look at the stars, Dawson. I can't. I can't always be here.
Which is where Dawson gets his creativity from. His dad.
True, yeah, and
it really did show you that Dawson and Pacey are watered down versions of their parents.
Yeah,
I think they really played that well. I don't think they did the women as good. Like, even after the scene where they watch the porn and then they're all like, oh, let's be friends because we watched porn together. What? And then they go down, and then all of a sudden they're ready to divulge their life on television. Like, that's crazy.
And also, just like, I don't know, you could tell me as a teenage girl, you're like, everything's fucking terrible. That was what you got out of this whole thing about both the boys and the girls, was like, when we really get down to it and we peel away all the layers and we be real, we're all miserable. Like, that was what the girls said, what the guys said.
I did not feel that way in high school at all.
No.
Did you? No, I thought it was fun.
I had a blast in high school. I mean, sometimes you're angry or upset, or, you're emotional because you're a teenager, but I had a blast.
Yeah. I mean, it was more dramatic than my life is now, but it wasn't. I mean,
every turn somebody breaks up with you or something, it was like a big deal. But on the whole, you were just mostly like, what are we doing this weekend? We're trying to have fun in some way.
But I still would have never, like, if my best friend's mom was like, oh, tell me what's the hardest part about being a teen, I would have found like a job interview answer. You know what I mean? Like, when you go to a job interview and they're like, tell me something negative about yourself. You're never like you wouldn't be like, well, I like to steal every time I go shopping. No, I'm not going to hire you. You would have a different answer. I don't know. Yeah. I think that there's no way that these girls would do that. I wonder if kids now, though, would, because I do feel like they're kind of doing it on Instagram and TikTok. Some kids.
I mean, for sure, if they didn't do it, you could just look up something about them and they've already shared their, emotions in that way. But I don't know. But I think part of, and this gets to like, how things are in like universities and stuff. And so quote unquote wokeness, like taking over, is like, I think part of what needs to happen, and it's not happening here, is none of these people are parents, and nobody is talking to these kids and telling them, this is, however you feel about this, you're going to get through it. You're going to get past this. In 5 years, you're going to think the things that you thought or felt at this time were crazy to think. Like, whatever you're going through now, don't worry about. Like, none of the adults are being adults and telling teenagers like, hey, look, I get why you feel that way, but you got to understand it's because you're young or you have a ton of hormones going through you and like you got to like hold on. And they're just letting them like dictate, like, I feel like this. And they're like, that's totally valid for you to be that way. And you're like, somebody needs to tell them, like, just shut up and fucking hang on a minute.
This is your slow clap moment from the
Thank
audience.
you.
And they all
Thank you.
standing there like, yeah. I mean, I'm not home to give you the buttons. So pew, pew, pew. Yeah, I just felt like that was dumb. But then my favorite part was when homegirl wakes up the next morning and is outside and they're like, you slept outside? And she's like, yeah, I told my parents that I was at a sleepover and they wouldn't come get me. You got like that sad little seep into her life. And then they took the high road.
Oh, by like
Andy,
saying, do you need a ride?
no, she took, that's nice. That was on the mean girl. Well, I never, Abby and Andy, right? Andy is the nice one. Abby's the mean one, right? So Abby's outside and Andy looks at her and was like, well, you're mean, flat out, which I appreciated. But then she still kind of got nicer. I kind of wish that she secretly was like, oh, good thing she slept outside. Ha ha ha. Like they keep letting this girl in and out of their life. Like she's super mean to them. Everything she does is so mean. And then they're like, oh, let's give her a chance. And then she does, it's dumb. No one would do that.
And also her motivations were a little weird of just like life is boring, but like her parents did get divorced, but she's like, there's just nothing happening in my house. And you're like, clearly there is. Clearly something is going on that she's like, there's just nothing happening. It's just when I go to bed, somebody touches me. And then I wake up in the morning, nothing is happening at home. And you're like,
and it's a ghost. It's even cooler.
And her just like, I want to spice things up. So I'm the fucking the whipping boy. I don't know. It was, I feel like that writing there was not fully thought through of her motivation.
This whole episode is a filler episode again. It's a filler episode. It's like, it gives you a little bit of insight, but you could have done this whole episode as a scene in another episode.
Yeah.
You literally could have gotten all this info out.
Yeah, first half of the episode, they go fishing and have the sleepover, and then they come back together and the results of this coming back together as the teens, like maybe that plays out in that way. But I also think that, I don't know, who knows how far ahead they had written at this point, but I wonder if with her, they're like, we're off in this bitch soon. So we don't really give a shit about her character development.
Yeah, I'm interested in why she left the show. I'm going to look that up. That'd be interesting.
See if she left on purpose or if they just fucking booted her.
And then you have the whole Pacey getting the fish thing again, where they like the dad steps in. Well, why did Pacey win the trophy? Because Jack caught the fish. It felt like it was a full team effort, except for Dawson and his dad had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no, they were sitting there fucking looking at dolphins in the waves or some shit. I don't know. I think they just kind of like everybody was like, hey, Pacey needs a win right now. But also Pacey was the one who pulled it in. Like Jack had it first and then Pacey jumped on the line to help him pull it in.
So how does fishing work where the guy who catches the fish on the line
I don't
gets
know
the prize or the person? Neither do I.
It's I mean, I would assume it's like by person or boat, whoever lands the fish, I guess. But I mean, I think if you're out there fishing for a trophy, you don't give up your rod to another person. Maybe they come in and help if it's huge.
So inappropriate.
But then, well, that's the thing. If we come to find out about Jack, he's willing to give up his rod to another man. Nothing.
Very true.
Nothing on that.
Very true. I just it was a little on the nose. I'm reading, why did Andy even leave the show Dawson's Creek? The co-producer and
Abby. Andy leaves later. Who knows? I mean, she gets killed off. I don't know if that's her leaving or if she just gets the fucking script that day. And
right. That's my real question.
And do you remember how she dies?
Yes, I do.
I wonder if they have to have a stunt. I want to know who the stunt person was that did that fall. That would be deep archive.
Every time you look up why did Abby leave the show, it goes into Andy. So we'll figure out what Andy did later.
Yeah, okay.
It's gotta. So they probably just wrote Abby out. They're probably just like, it was always going to be like a short character.
Maybe also because I don't know if that guy fucking, what was his name? Scott. I don't know how much more he's in it, if at all. I wonder if they what's his name,
Oh,
Scott, the other dude?
yeah, the equal
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had the idea in this season of we wanted death. We're gonna kill one of the kids. And they didn't quite know. And then a little ways in, they're like, it's Abby.
Also, it helps Jen have her crazy.
Yeah.
Like it helps with her and her grandma, who we haven't seen in a long time. What happened to Grandma?
Yeah, Graham's, man, they cannot keep adults in this show.
That's right. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Because she would have been great in that all chick thing, walking in on them, watching a porn, much better.
Yes.
And then she would be like, I knew Dawson always watched porn.
Which also, when they
like,
go to kick Abby out, sorry, go ahead. What?
I'm just going to say, I hope Graham was in it. Graham was like, I'm in this one.
It's an old 70s porn. When they kick Abby out, she even gets a dig on her mom.
And she didn't even like kick her out of the house right there fully. I mean, no, you're talking about when she left. Yeah. That was good.
Which turns out she just went out and sat on the porch. But yeah, that was hilarious. But again, that was a case of like Gail doesn't even know how to be the adult around like teenagers.
Are there bears or anything in this neighborhood?
Bears? No.
Wildlife that could hurt her for sleeping on a chair?
No. No, but she would have been covered in dew in the morning.
Also inappropriate. What do you think of the Joey and Jen scene of them? I think they have a scene in every 3 episodes where it's like, look, I know you don't like me. I just want you to like me. Okay, well, I don't like you.
That's part of what I don't get is one, why Jen keeps like, Jen, just find other friends. Why are all of these people still hanging out with each other? That's what I want. Like what there's other people
in the
here.
School. Yeah.
Also, they are still both obsessed with who they are in comparison to Dawson. They're not, it's not about who they are as individual people. It's who they are in the relationship that they have with Dawson. Joey, oddly obsessed considering she left him, but still like, you're trying to take my spot as his right hand.
Which, like, you stopped trying, so obviously that's fine. Like, why is she mad at her for that?
I don't know. We'll see how good of friends, because I still feel like they're contentious, like they never.
They have 6 seasons.
Well, they have times when they get really close, and then they have other times where they don't fucking see each other for like 6 months. Because they go on their own separate ways.
I think I stopped watching Dawson's Creek when it got to college, or like I didn't watch it consistently.
Oh, really? There's, I think it's next season. We have a good long time guest star come in, and when Jen dates this guy, and he's on the show for quite a few episodes, but it's the guy from later would be on Boardwalk Empire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He comes on as her younger boyfriend. And I feel like in all of those, he's like a freshman, she's a senior. But I feel like in all of those, she's just off doing her own thing with him, and she like barely sees the other people and stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I know. Go have your own life.
Good. I like that. Did you find this? I found this unrelatable as a female, like this episode. It's definitely something I never did. I never got a bunch of
that would ever happen.
Oh, I never got a bunch of girls together and was like, so what is the hardest thing about being a girl? Like that never happened.
Yeah.
I could see guys fishing, but that's it.
You know, oddly, my dad goes on a fishing trip every year and never invites
you.
Never. No. It's like they go away without kids. And
now,
now I bet he would take me. I bet it would be cool to go. But it was clearly like they just go to fucking drink and smoke weed and shit.
Okay, Mr. Seavey, if you're listening, please ask your son to go fishing. He clearly wants it.
Just, 36 years. 36, looking for one time.
Dad, if you're listening to me, for those of you who are only listening, I looked up to the sky because my dad's dead.
And that's where you think he is?
No. I was trying to be nice. Never paid his child support. There's no way he's up there.
Oh, that's
Left on
one
a bad
tab
note.
that's gonna go unclaimed.
Good.
But yeah, it was, this was a, like you said, a filler, a device episode, a way to clear up some things and create tension with characters and stuff, but it was not,
A lot
it
of
was like,
season 2 is this though. I feel like a lot of season 2 episodes are like I would love to see their numbers if they got bigger in season 2 or if it kind of went like,
yeah, well, you know
because
why though? I think this is what I think. Why is they went from 13 episodes in season 1 because they were mid-season pickup to now having to do 22 or 24 45-minute episodes. These aren't half hour too. That's the other tough thing about it. And they're just going to be like, every 3 episodes, we can't just keep pushing the plot along. We don't have enough plot to push along. So they just put in
it's
these,
because you didn't create big enough characters. Oh, we
yeah,
don't have enough depth in these people to do more.
or a big
Literally what
enough
you do.
world, or like you totally, like you haven't decided even, there wasn't even the thought, I feel like, of is each season going to be a year of school. I think they, once they got into the second season and then they realized like, they're like, oh shit, like we would have to really go, yeah, like they're just, maybe by season 3 they get a handle on it, realize they got to like slow down, slow their roll on some things, have some relationships take a little longer, not like,
This happens a lot in TV, I think. Second seasons suck, and then third seasons are usually good.
I don't know that that's true, but we'll
in general. But what do you think is going to happen next week? We have it's called His Leading Lady.
Ooh.
As Dawson's new film mirrors his failed romance with Joey, the truth about Andy's medication stuns Pacey. That's literally the entire bio of the next episode. And they just put a comma. Like, that's weird.
I think
grammar.
whoever Dawson gets to play the lady in it, maybe like Joey then gets jealous of, or right, you know what I hope? I hope it's a big fat girl. And Joey's like, that's who's playing me.
That's how you see me. It's the grandma. It's Grant's.
Yeah. And Dawson's just like, that, Joey, that's exactly how I see you. This whole fucking Andy mental health, like this is I don't know. It's adding a lot of shame to mental health.
It would never fly now. None of this whole episode, this whole series would never fly this way. There's no way any of these, you wouldn't have, all these characters would never work now. They would be in so much trouble.
They'd all be on pills.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dawson's
Nobody
pill.
in here is on Adderall. I mean, Ritalin, not like nothing like that. Like that, this was the peak of that, of fucking put kids on medication going into the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when like every kid, get them on medication. There's something wrong with them.
Little ADHD. Here you go.
Yeah.
Did you ever take any of that?
Only for fun. I was never.
I never took it. I was scared of it.
I was never prescribed it, but all during college and shit. Yeah. Take that to like work all the time.
To work?
Yeah, to do like.
To do work?
Do work, yeah.
I thought you meant like, I'd go into work and I'd be like, yeah, let's take drugs.
I do that too. Yeah, you could take it. Like, I mean, if you were working a shitty job or something, I used to have I did shoveling for snowstorms. You go out and shovel, and you just shovel for like as long as the snowstorm is, going from house to house, because you'd have like these contracts where they would always have to be clear. Like, it wasn't like you let all the snow fall and then you go shovel. Some of them are like businesses and they're like, no, we just need it constantly cleared so that business can continue. And so we would go out for like 10, 14 hours straight if that's how long it was snowing. And it was just, yeah, you just take Adderall. And
I could see doing drugs for that kind of job for sure.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I've never had like intellectual jobs. I just have physical labor.
Except for comedy is so not physical.
Right. Comedy is the only thing. Yeah. Comedy is the only thing that that has used my brains.
Have you ever dated somebody on a lot of medication?
No.
Me neither. That I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But maybe they hid it
No.
from me.
No,
Because I
but
don't
I
know
think
if
that's
I would shame them or not. Like, it feels like Pacey really, it's like, whoa. But also, in fairness, her mom's crazy,
yeah.
right? If you have a parent who's in a mental institution and you're dating their child, you might be a little more susceptible to like, is she going to be like her? I could see that. I could see that thought
Absolutely.
process.
Yeah. No, if I was Pacey, I would break up with her. I would.
No.
I would see her
No.
mom and be like, this doesn't end well. I'm getting out now.
No. Be nice. Be nice to the world.
You just got to protect yourself sometimes.
Ugh.
Pacey's looking out for Pacey. That is very clear.
Handren.
No, he really wants somebody to care about and to take care of. I forget why they break
100%.
up, but they, at some point they break up and he goes to
Joey, which I can't wait for.
You can't wait for Joey. I can't wait for Jen's never long lost sister. Those couple episodes.
I just want Pacey and Joey to be together and for it to all work out. That's my dream.
But until then, we can all wish.
Yes, we can. I'm Kim McVicar.
I'm Handren Seavey, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.